of Shabbos? All right, one who forgets the whole concept of Shabbos only brings one korban. One who knows about Shabbos, forgets what day it is, has to bring a korban for each Shabbos. But he only has to bring one korban per Shabbos because he just didn't know about the whole Shabbos. And the one who knows it's Shabbos but doesn't know which melachas are osir has to bring a korban for each and every melacha. Right? That's the basic Mishnah. And then, I'm sorry, one more case. And one who forgets many melachas that are part of one melacha, then he only brings one korban. Right? That's the Mishnah. The Gemara says why it says klal gadol. It says klal by Shemitah, Meiser, and Peah. And then we said Rav and Shmuel said that the first case is talking about a tinik shenishba. And then we have a continuation. And Rabbi Yochanan and Lakish comes out that it's Machlokes Rabbi Yochanan and Lakish and Rav and Shmuel. Rav and Shmuel say that a tinik shenishba has to bring one korban for all the Shabbos. And Rabbi Yochanan and Lakish hold like munbaz. And munbaz is a very interesting opinion. And he says that a shogeg has to know what he's doing. So Mamela, since the tinik shenishba didn't know anything, so therefore he doesn't have to bring any sort of korban.
Why is that an interesting shita? I think that shita makes sense.
Does it? I mean, we're going to discuss it tonight in the Gemara. But how can you? The problem is how can you be a shogeg and know what you're doing?
Well, a shogeg means that you once learned that you were a little bit. There's some sort of negligence involved.
No. B'shas ma'isa you have to know. No, b'shas ma'isa you have to know what you're doing. No. Yeah, that's what he's saying. B'shas ma'isa you have to know.
But that's what who's saying?
Munbaz.
I thought munbaz was only talking about the tinik shenishba that year.
No, stop. He's saying every.
I thought he was saying if Shas Maisa you had to once upon a time know. I was very confused about yesterday's daf, so not really.
Well, it's a confusing daf. The first part of today's daf is also confusing. After that, it gets geschmack. The second half of today's daf is very good. Not that the other part of the daf is not very good, but the second half is geschmack. Yeah, so we're going to see now. We're going to try and clarify Munbaz's opinion. What? Can't hear you. You decided to change your mind what you wanted to say? Oh, hell's freezing over for you tonight.
I don't feel so lonely.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Okay, so about 5 lines up from the 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 lines up. My time of the munbaz. Why does munbaz hold what he says? Again, munbaz says that a shogeg, since a shogeg is called doing a chet, right, and a mazid is called doing a chet, so therefore munbaz says that you learn it out just like a mazid knows what he's doing. So too a shogeg also has to know what he's doing. To which we said, Rabbi Kiva asked him, so if that's the case, then a shogeg is a mazid. Right? If he knows what he's doing, how could he call him a shogeg? Right, so let's see how he says. Where does he learn it from? Yeah, you have it 7 lines up, last words on the line. My time in the munbaz.
What's up?
Samach ches amabeis.
In Shabbos.
Very good.
Oh, no wonder I was. When did we finish brachas?
He's a Hatzalah guy. He doesn't know what Shabbos is.
Oh.
One second, we said yesterday he's an Einus.
We said yesterday, I'm putter. Totally.
Yeah. All right. Had to throw it in there. You left it open. What should I tell you?
I never had learned it.
Think of it like ambulance buses. The art scroll has Shabbos too.
Is Shabbos the time that we fight about shuls? Is that Shabbos?
Yeah, that's sort of something like that. Anyways, by the way, at 11, I'm giving a shir on this same channel on tonight. It's for Yeshiva Rockaway guys on davening outside. If anybody's bored and wants to log in, you're welcome to do that.
Jack, okay. Is it a repeat? Is it the same as Tuesday night shir, or anything changes?
It's going to be a little bit more. It'll probably be a little bit more rowdy because these guys are going to make me nuts. But
is it going to be a 30-second shir? Don't do it. If you do it, you're shaita.
Go back inside and daven the
No,
Yechidus.
no. You see, no. The problem is that they have Rebbeim and YFR, so I can't just shoot my mouth off because then it might be slice or something that they got from the Rebbeim. So I got to be a little bit.
Then they should be listening to the Rebbeim.
Oh,
True.
Zinger. Yeah,
True.
Yes, it's been a long time since we did Mishmar, no?
Yeah.
Jesse,
Anyway.
Jesse, you're disinvited from the shir.
Okay. My time with the munbaz, but it's underage drinking. So no, I'm saying this underage guys, so no drinking on that one. If you log on, please no drinking. Okay, my time with the munbaz. So why does munbaz say what he says? Right? It says there's Torah achas to somebody who does something b'shkoga. And right next to it, it says a pasuk of, this is talking about cursing Hashem. The nefesh that does it with a high hand. So obviously it's a high hand because he's cursing Hashem. Hikish shogeg lemezid. So we make a comparison between shogeg and mezid. Ma mezid shahasala yediyah, just like a mezid. He knows what he's doing. Otherwise, he's not considered doing it on purpose. Av shogeg shahasala yediyah. So shogeg also means that he had to have a yediyah about it. Rabanan hay Torah achas my avdile. The Rabanan, what do they do with this Torah achas? Again, the Rabanan hold that shogeg you don't have to know anything about. They need it for the way Rabbi Shua ben Levi taught his son. Right? It says Torah achasiyah lechem lo'isa b'shkoga. Right? The pasuk we just said. And then it says if you're going to do sishku means shogeg, and you don't do, and you make a mistake, and you didn't do any of these mitzvahs, right? Which is referring to Avodah Zarah, because it's equivalent of all the mitzvahs in the Torah. Right, so now he added another pasuk into this whole comparison. So we compare all these things to Avodah Zarah. Just like over there, it's only things that you're chayiv kares for, and then if you do it b'shogeg you're chayiv chatas. Avkol. The only time you have to bring a korban chatas is if the equivalent of the mezid equivalent would be kares, right? Which is the way we paskin. Again, a korban chatas only gets brought if on an avera that if you did it, you'd get kares, right? So that's how they're learning out. Now I don't know how munbaz learned this out because this only comes out according to Rabanan, not according to munbaz. But that's what it is. Okay, so now the question is, Ve'ela munbaz shogeg b'mai. So munbaz says again, a shogeg. What are you? Is he saying that a shogeg you have to have knowledge about it? So then, how is it really possible to ever have a shogeg? Right? By chatos it says you're a shogeg. Right? Meaning, what does munbaz do with bringing a korban chatos on a shogeg? Shogeg b'mai. Kagan shogeg b'korban. Right? I can't say I understand the pshat in this. So I can't say I understand the pshat. What does it mean? He's shogeg with korban. Meaning the guy's doing an avera. This is what this means. It's very difficult to understand. He's doing an avera, and he knows that what he's doing is kares. He knows that, but he doesn't know that he would have to bring a korban chatas if he did it by mistake. Meaning he has perfect knowledge of what he's not allowed to do. Let's say cursing Hashem. So he knows he's not allowed to curse Hashem. Fine. The only thing he doesn't know is that if he curses Hashem by mistake, however that would happen, then he would have to bring a korban chatas. He doesn't know that.
Is that a catch-22?
Sort of, yes. Yeah.
It's a paradox. The whole idea of creating such a scenario is a scenario that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
he doesn't know that a scenario that you're trying to create. Because the Rabanan boxed munbaz into a corner. They said, "Where's your case of shogeg?" He said, "My case of shogeg is a scenario where the guy doesn't know the idea of shogeg." What does that mean?
Correct. That's exactly what it is. No, but what he's saying is that if you don't, correct. No, but it does exist. But he's basically saying unless you're educated in the mitzvah from soup to nuts, then you don't have enough education, and therefore you're a shogeg. That's the way I understand. That's my little minuscule understanding of this. That's the way I'm understanding it. Meaning, you're considered a shogeg. We'll see more as the Amud progresses here. But it seems like if you don't have complete knowledge of this mitzvah, then you're a shogeg.
Sounds like munbaz doesn't have knowledge of what a shogeg is.
Ooh, yeah, that's a really. That's a, I
No,
hear
I'm
that.
saying he's not
No,
giving you
no,
a scenario
that's-
that's actually.
So,
You're
Tiago,
right,
but what
you're
does that
right.
mean? Does that mean like on
Yeah, go ahead.
let's say a Hilchas Shabbos, on a Hilchas Shabbos, you have to know that it's Shabbos, or you have to know every prat of, let's say, Haitzah.
No, you don't have to know the prop, but it seems like you have to know the basics of what you would be chayav on and what you would be have to bring a chatas for, and et cetera, et cetera. That's what you'd have to know. Let's see a little bit further. It gets a little. I don't know if it gets clear. It either get clearer or unclearer, or like I tell. What?
Would it make sense to say they're trying to walk it back so that if someone were to make a mistake, that they're not like chayav kares consistently? Like, because if that's
Correct,
the case, like,
maybe. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was actually thought about that, and I would have forgotten had you not said it. That it comes out that this is a great for all those tinik shenishbros and all those that that what do you call it? That what I just say? Tinik shenishbros, or it is. They would have to bring thousands of korbanos. So this is saying that even if you did it on purpose, and even if you knew. No, even right. I'm sorry. Even us, right? That's right. It's tinik shenishbros, and even us. When a guy does an avera, he knows he's doing it. He's going outside the dam with a minion. He doesn't care, right? I don't know about that. Okay, but I'm just saying he's whatever. He's the guy decides he decides to go eat treif, right? And if he doesn't have the knowledge of when he's going to have to bring a korban, not bring a korban, and all that, so then he would be potter. Yeah, he would be potter. Yes.
I don't think this is the first time it's. Again, I'm not saying anyone's against us, but I'm saying this sounds like it's the first time that they've actually made it an accessible part of halacha, where there's a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, like we make mistakes all the time. Yeah, everyone says if you learn Hilchos Shabbos, then you realize how many mistakes you actually make. You know.
Right. That's maybe where ignorance is bliss really comes in here, because the more ignorant you are, the less korban chatas you have to bring. That's what comes out. I think the farmers in Eretz Yisrael would be very unhappy.
We said that before.
Yeah.
We said that before in Texas with the jewelry of the ladies.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah. No, that's true. Well, yeah, right. No, that plays into it a little bit too. Let's see, let's see, maybe it'll get. Sometimes I tell the guys like that when in the Shifra or whatever learning halacha. So sometimes things are unclear, right? So there's something called unclear, and then you're clear that you're unclear. I mean, if you're still unclear, so you don't really understand what's going on, which is me a lot. But I'm saying, but sometimes I'm very clear of what I'm unclear about. That's fine. That's also a madrega. You know what I mean? You have your kashas, and then you go weiter, right? Fine, for Rabanan, what did Rabanan do with this? Shigas korban lo yishma shogeg. The Rabanan say no, a shogeg of a korban, that's not called a shogeg, so that's not going to work. That's not going to be considered a shogeg. But Rabanan shogeg b'mai. So now with Rabanan, right, that you have to be a shogeg on the actual avera, right? Meaning, does it mean that you have to be a shogeg on the kares and the chatas, or just on the kares? Meaning, do the Rabanan agree with this concept that you have to have the knowledge from A to Z on the halachas of the korban, and what's going to happen to you, on the halachas of the avera, and what's going to happen to you if you're over. Rabbi Yochanan Amar said this is a major machlokes. Rabbi Yochanan Amar kiman shogeg b'kares, since he's a shogeg in kares, afal pi shehizid b'lav, even though he's a mazid in the lav. Meaning, what he's saying, Rabbi Yochanan is saying, a guy could be over on an avera. He knows he's being over on an avera, but if he doesn't know that it's kares, then he is going to be potter. Okay, that's called shogeg, according to Rabbi Yochanan. Okay, it's important to know this because the rest of the Amud is going to be about his shita. Again, Rabbi Yochanan holds kivan sheshogeg b'kares, afal pi shehizid b'lav. You did the lav on purpose, right? Somebody tells you, do not make a fire on Shabbos, and you say, I don't care, I'm making a fire on Shabbos, right? So is he a mazid or a shogeg? But he doesn't know that if he makes a fire on Shabbos, he's going to be chayav kares, right? So since he doesn't know, the way Rashi explains it, since he doesn't know that this is... Yeah, he's ignorant. Yeah, he's ignorant, which most people are. Right? Which most people are. That's what I'm saying. It helps for those that are ignorant. A guy doesn't know that he's chayiv
Ignorance
korban.
doesn't make you
Take a poll.
potter.
Ask how many people they know if they Machal Shabbos.
Ign-
It makes you
Ignorance
potter.
doesn't make you potter.
Considered a.
Ignorance-
No, you're not going to be chayiv koros. You're going to be a shogeg, right?
You're not a shogeg in the Avera, you're shogeg in what you don't know what the punishment
Correct.
is.
Why
That's
what he's
potter
saying.
from that?
Correct. Right. Exactly. What?
What's pshat?
Because the avera. Because if he's saying pshat, Rashi says pshat is that since you're chayiv koros, and koros, like we just got finished saying, a korban chatas only goes on a chayiv koros. So since he didn't know he's being chayiv koros, so therefore he's considered a shogeg. Yeah.
He's chayiv. He's
So
chayiv
Lakish, I
chatos or
want to
not
see that
chayiv
that's Rabbi
chatos?
Yochanan. What?
He's chayiv chatos or not? He's potter on what? On the
In
chorus or
order
he's
to be
potter on...
chayiv chatas, you have to be.
Know that
you
there's
have
chorus
to
if you do
be-
amazing.
Yes.
So then there's no chiddush in anything he's saying here. He's amazed by a straw. Either way, he wouldn't. He's amazed.
Why is
He's
he
not a
amazed by a
shogeg.
straw?
So
You see,
I'm saying
it's
that in order to be a straw, you need to have straw. It has to tell you the
well,
punishment
Shabbos,
also.
No,
Or
no,
you
but
need it.
hasra for no Shabbos. If you have hasra, then it's misa. If you don't have no hasra, then it's chorus. Shabbos is unique in that way. Shabbos is chorus without hasra, and with hasra, it's misa. Right? I'm just saying an example, but it applies to other things too. The Gemara is going to go through. The Gemara is going to go through and explain, and ask about other examples of this. But anyways, that's Rabbi Yochanan's shita. That's Rabbi Yochanan comes out a kula. But you're not going to be considered a shogeg until you have you're a shogeg in the lav and the chorus. Right? Okay, fine. So you mean you have to be like the way we all thought. You have to be a shogeg in the lav and in the chorus, and you don't. That would be the normal way of thinking about it. So Amar Rava, my time of the Lakish. Amar Kra Asher Loisa Hasena B'Shkog of Ashim. Right? It says that you're not going to do it, and you're going to be Ashim Achi Yishkoi B'Lav V'Karashava until. What does it mean? Say Asena. It means until you're shogeg in the lav and chorus. Rabbi Yochanan High Krod Rav Shimon Lakish Mayav. What's Rabbi Yochanan going to do with it? It comes to say me Amoretz. Amoretz here doesn't mean Amoretz. It means a person, a nation from the land comes to exclude a mummer, meaning that a guy who's a mummer doesn't even get the right. A mummer is somebody who's totally against Yiddishkeit. He doesn't get the right at all to even bring a korban chatas. Rav Shimon Elazar, Rav Shimon, Asher Leisa Sen of Ashim, Hashav Mi the Yasai, maybe korban Ashigagasa. Somebody who does tshuva from when he finds out about it, say he brings a korban on the shogeg. If he doesn't do tshuva from what his knowledge is, meaning he's also not from Eina maybe korban shogeg. So they're pretty much saying the same thing. It's just how you go about learning it. But they're basically saying that a person who doesn't believe doesn't get to bring a korban chatas. Why he would want to bring a korban chatas, I don't know if he doesn't believe, but that's what it's saying. Fine. Now the Gemara is going to ask on Rabbi Yochanan. Right? It says in the Mishnah there's 40 melachas minus one. And the Gemara discusses, right? Why do you need to count? Why do you need to tell us how many melachas there are? So it's telling you is that you're over on all 39 melachas and one forgetting. You have to bring 39 karbanos. Right? How are you going to find it? With doing your mazid on Shabbos, meaning you know it's Shabbos, so you're mazid on that from that angle, but you're shogeg on the melachas, right? You know it's Shabbos. All you know from Shabbos is, and there's a lot of people like this, they think that Shabbos is kiddush and lighting candles right before sunset. Then they don't know that there's 39 melachas they're not allowed to do. So that would be an example of having to bring 39 karbanos, right? So now Bishlam Rav Yochanan Damar Kivin Shogeg B'Karis Avukisha Hizid Lav. So according to Rav Yochanan, who says that since you're a shogeg in Karis, even though you're amazed with the lav, Mishkachas like you're going to Yodel Shabbos, the lav. So we find this that you know that Shabbos is a lav, right? And therefore that's enough to make you chayiv a korban. Right? But he says you have to be a shogeg, you have to know nothing. The other Leila Shabbos b'mai. What is he knowing Shabbos about? If he knows about Shabbos, and he has to know that it's a lav and karis, so then he has to know something of the melachas. Otherwise, what's his knowledge? So Gemara gives a very interesting answer. The other betchumen v'alibet Rebbe Kiva. He knows about the one thing he knows about Shabbos is tchumen. Now, tchum is that you're not allowed to go more than 2,000 amas from wherever you are, from the edge of the city, right? We paskin that tchumen is the Rabanan. Rebbe Kiva held tchumen is braysa. Okay, it's not one of the lamites melachas, but it's braysa. So we're saying that this guy who forgot all 39 melachas, the way to explain it according to Rish Lakish is that the only thing he knew about Hilchas Shabbos was that you're not allowed to go out of the tchum, and according to Rebbe Kiva, it's an issa d'oraisa. That's the only thing he knew. He knew nothing about the lamites melachas. That would be the only scenario that you would find that you would, according to Rish Lakish, that you would have to bring 39 korbanos. Fine. If you did a shogeg on this and this, then that's the shogeg that the Torah is talking about. I lost too many zebazes going on here. Again, that's the shogeg that says in the Torah. Hizid bezeh bezeh. And if you did a mazid with this and with this, zui mazid and over Torah, right? Those are the two basic cases. Then shogeg b'Shabbos hizid b'malachas. If you were shogeg on Shabbos and you did the malachas b'mezid, meaning that's you knew that you're making a fire on Shabbos and you know that it's also to make a fire on Shabbos. You just didn't know that it was Shabbos, right? That's what shogeg b'Shabbos means, and hizid b'malachas. And the opposite is shogeg b'malachas, hizid b'Shabbos. You were shogeg on malachas, but you were mezid on Shabbos. Right? Meaning you knew that it was Shabbos, you just didn't know about the melachas. Or he says, I know that this melacha is asur, but I didn't know, like we discussed before, I don't know that you chayav a korban. Or you're not chayav. So Kiman, who is that like? Kim munbaz. This will only fit in to munbaz, who holds that you have to have a exact knowledge of everything that's going on. So Amar Rabbi, right? So Abaye says that everybody's moed now shvuas bitoy is that when you either make a shvua, there's two types of shvuas bitoys. Shvuas bitoy can either be that you swear that something happened and then you realize that you messed up and that didn't happen, or you swear that you're going to do something and you don't end up doing it. So Abaye is saying that everybody's moed by shvuas bitoy she'en chayav an korban ad sheyishkoy. You have to be actually shogeg in the actual lav of it, right? So Akol Moedim man, who's Akol Moedim? It has to be Rabbi Yochanan. Pshita, it's pasha. Keep coming, Rabbi Yochanan. Heichadika karis. Aval hachad the leka karis loy. Right? Now, Rabbi Yochanan can only say his shita with his karis, right? Because he tied in the bringing the korban shogeg, the korban chatos, based on a karis. But here there's no karis for lying. Not lying, for making a false, I don't know if it's a false shvur, it's a shvur's bita, meaning it's a meaningless, it's a shvur that you didn't keep. So of course, so it's pashit. So Sagda the Chamina, no. Hayav chayav korban, since he chayav a korban on this, now didn't we just got finished saying that a korban is only chayav, is something that you chayav karis, but here shvur's bita is not karis and you chayav a korban if you mess up. The shogeg, so chiddushu, the b'chala tarakulu, le'ashkechan, lav the ma'asila korban. In the whole Torah, we don't find stam avera that you have to bring a korban on if you do a b'shogeg, other than karis. And here, by breaking a shvu, you do bring it. So then we think, okay, so maybe if you're shogeg in the korban and you didn't know that if you swear with this for no reason, so you would think you'd be chayev. Kamash malon that you are not chayev. So Rabbi Yochanan is saying that is moida. Yeah. So Meisvei. Then they're going to ask another kasha. Ezu shigas shvuos bita. So yeah, this is a little bit of a difficult gemara, but it gets a little bit more pleasant in a few lines. So Meisvei, Ezu shigas shvuos bita l'sha'avar. What's a shogeg of making a shvua for something that happened? Shem Amar Yedei Anisha Shvuazu Asura. If he says, I knew that this shvua is asur to make, Aval Eini Dei Im Chayavan Alei Korban Eloi. So, and I didn't know whether I'm chayav a korban or not. Hamani munbasi, that's going to be munbaz. So the answer is that we're going to go with munbaz. That's basically the way out for all these tirutzim. That we're going to go with munbaz, that you have to have knowledge of the avera. Fine. V'amar Abaye, skip the parentheses. V'amar Abaye, hakol moedim b'truma she'ein chayav l'chol chomish ad sheyishkoi b'lav sheba. Now, truma, the din by truma is if you by mistake eat a kohen's truma, so then you have to pay back the truma that you ate, because obviously it doesn't belong to you, plus a fifth. But the fifth only gets paid back if you did it by mistake. If you did it on purpose, then it's worse, but you don't pay back the fifth. Right? So Amar Abaye, Kol Moedim, everybody agrees, but truma, she'ein chayav l'chol chomish, you're not chayav a chomish ad sheyishkoi b'lav sheba, until you're a shogeg in the actual lav. Meaning you have to know that you were not allowed to eat the truma. Hakol Moedim man Rabbi Yochanan. So of course, who's Hakol Moedim? That's Rabbi Yochanan. Pshita, it's Pashat. So when it says Kiyam Rabbi Yochanan hechadiga kares, that's only where this kares hechadaleka kares loy. Because of course, Rabbi Yochanan is only going in cases which is kares. Now eating a kohen's truma is not kares, so it's Pashat that Rabbi Yochanan will be made. So when it says no mao, the same in misa b'makom kares emedus, there is a chiyuv misa for eating truma of a kohen. So maybe Misa takes the place of Karas. And if he was just a Shai, and then Misa he'd also be Chayiv, Kamash V'lan, then he is not. Rabba Amar Misa b'makam Karas Amedus v'Chayiv sh'makam Korban Koi. Rabba disagrees, and he says Misa is going to be in the place of Karas, and Chaimish is in the place of Korban, and therefore he would be Chayiv. Okay? Fine. Okay. Now, Omar, now if the Olam is a little shvach because of the previous Gemara, this Gemara is Geshmak, and we actually, it's not really so much, it is Halacha L'maisa. If anybody ever goes to Hawaii for Shabbos, this is very Negeya, this Gemara. Okay, Omar Rav Huna. Hayamahalach b'derech. A guy's traveling, b'midbar, he's traveling in the midbar. Let's just go with that because it's a simpler case. Ve'ena yedeya emasai Shabbos, and he has no idea, he totally lost track of time. He had no watch, and he has no idea, he had no calendar, he has no idea what day is Shabbos. So what do? So minus shisha yamim, so what he does is from that day, he counts 6 days, umeshamer yom echad, and then he watches, then he keeps 1 day. Meaning, so whatever day it is that he wakes up and realizes, I have no idea what day of the week it is, so you go 6 days, and then you keep Shabbos. No, the day that you wake up and you don't know whether it's Shabbos, you keep that day as Shabbos, and then you go, then you have 6 weekdays. But my community, what's the Machlokes? Marsa v'Kriyas Shalolim. One holds it's like the Bria of the world. The world first had 6 days and then Shabbos. So that's why he should keep 6 days and then Shabbos. Marsa v'Ka'adam Arishon. It's like Adam Arishon. Adam Arishon was born on Friday. So his first day was what? Adam Arishon's first day was Shabbos. And then he had 6 weekdays. Yeah?
It's very shver, the second opinion, though.
Why?
Because he wakes up in the middle of the day, then what about all the hours from when the day began? Then he was Machal Shabbos.
Oh, you mean I hear.
No,
maybe
Friday.
The next day?
No, the next day. The next day he keeps Shabbos.
The very next day, it's not what it sounds like.
The very next day. It's like Briyas Shalom. He was born on Friday and he kept Shabbos the next day.
One second.
When he wakes up, if he doesn't,
I don't know, Rashi.
That's not what Rashi says. Rashi says you wait till the
Right,
next day because you can already be Mechal Shabbos on that day.
No, he don't. Rashi doesn't. The first Rashi says.
Kol yoyim shesham el liboy einem mishamer. The shema asam melacha. Of yoyim hamacharas. The next day he's keeping Shabbos. So that's what we were saying.
So shema liboy einem shamer the shema. Yeah, I'm sorry. Right. No, they're right. That's correct. Yeah, no, that's correct. The other way, I mixed it up. The 6 days, yes, thank you for that. The one, if you're counting 6 days and then Shabbos, the first sheet, then you count that day as one. Right? That day is counted as one. If you're doing Shabbos, Shabbos is the next day and then 6 days. Yeah? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Machlokes, yes, thank you for the clarification. So then the Machlokes is whether it's like the world or like Adam Rishon. Fine. So Meisvei, so So we have a kasha because it says if a guy is traveling, he doesn't know when Shabbos is Mishma Yom Echad L'Shisha. He watches one day for 6. Now that's a vague lashon. What exactly does that mean? My love minus Shisha Mishmar Yom Echad. He counts 6 days and then he keeps one day. Loi Mishmar Yom Echad minus Shisha. Right? Okay, so it's vague. So that's we're saying. It doesn't. It's not a raya either way. You shouldn't say he counts one day and then 6. It should say he's mishama yom echad umayna shisha. That would have been a better way to say it. Right, Tanya, and another braysa. He's going on the road or in the middle of the day. Emasai Shabbos, and he doesn't know when Shabbos is mayna shisha. He counts 6 days of Mishmar Yom Echad, and then he keeps one day. Tiyufta to Rab Chia Barav, Tiyufta, so it's a kasha on Chia Barav. And it's so we slug it up. So therefore, and this is the way we paskin, if a guy taka loses track of when Shabbos is, so you count 6 days, including that day, and then the 7th is Shabbos. This is unfortunately a COVID, it's really not negay, but it could potentially be a guy who's intubated and he has no idea where he is, and then he wakes up and there's no yidden with him, right? And they don't know, and the nurses know nothing about Shabbos, and they don't even know like Saturday, and he's delusional.
It happens to what's his name, Eli Beer, no?
Well, he didn't know that Pesach already passed, right? That's what they said. Right. So something like that could happen, right? But we'll get to the more practical examples in a minute. But yeah, so that would be some form of example. First, let's finish up the sugi, and then we'll discuss the halacha l'maisa we come out from this Gemara. Amar Rava b'chol yom v'yom. So now here's the problem. In l'maisa, every day is a suffik d'oraisa, right? This guy is in the desert. He has no idea when Shabbos is. L'maisa, every day is a suffik d'oraisa.
Right? Why come maybe it's Yom Kippur?
I hear. I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know. I guess he knows about what season it is. I hear at some point. Yeah. I don't know. Never thought about that. Good question. So anyways, but Lamaisa, every day is a suffix. It's a suffix of Chil Shabbos. So Amar Rava, B'chol Yom V'Yom Eisa like
it's a suffix, not Roiv.
What's how you go Roiv? A suffix Daraisa? Just every day he wakes up, he doesn't know if today's Shabbos.
Yeah, but right days are not Shabbos.
Right, but Lamaisa.
It's a real suffix Daraisa.
It's a suffix. Yeah.
He never has to keep Shabbos a whole week. He doesn't have to keep Shabbos.
What do you mean? Because of Roiv? No, clearly you're saying he has to.
Right, that's what I'm asking on Zed.
Yeah.
What are you saying? That what?
Well, you have to, because each day he's saying then you don't have to keep Shabbos at all. It could be
that's true, because then you're vadei over. You're vadei over
if
you keep if you go with that mahalach of 7 days straight. When was it right? If you take off one day, then you're not vadei over.
Yeah, but the question is so each day is a suffix, right? The same thing if you have one piece of treif that falls into 2 pieces of kosher, you're allowed me'ikra din. You're allowed to eat all 3 pieces, even though you know for sure you're eating treif. Okay, without getting into the whole.
So anyway, the davar shasher levar. We don't say you go basa right.
Davar what?
Well, it's a suffix. So it is a suffix.
Not a suffix kolim. It's only a suffix for this guy in the desert.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the
that's
meat.
A shaili. But he has nobody to. What are you saying, Ari?
I was just thinking about the meat. And this way he could say every day, it's the stomach. It's not today. It's 1 out of 7. So then he would go and he would never have Shabbos.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see how the Gemara goes. Amar Rava, b'chol yom v'yom, oisaloi kidei parnasasai. Every day he's only allowed to do at the minimum amount to get his parnasa. Bar me'ahu yoima, except for that day of Shabbos when he can't do parnasa because he's keeping that day of Shabbos. But it's not b'chol oisa kidei parnasasai, right? Only for what he needs. Yeah. Then the Gemara says, and on that day, on Shabbos, he should die, right? Meaning you're telling him he can't do anything for his parnasa, then he's going to die. So again, he's not opening a grocery store that he could have enough to, that he shuts his store for a couple of days. So the Gemara says, no, the Ovid me'esmo shtei parnasas, right? What we do also, you got to make 2 parnasas on Friday, right? So in order to support yourself on Shabbos. Okay, so how can you work double on Friday? Maybe Friday, again, his perceived Friday is really Shabbos. So he ends up working double on the Friday for Shabbos. Every day he has to work for his parnasa, even that day, meaning Shabbos. Good, and then what? And how is it Shabbos then? If it's the same, if he's doing it the same way on that Shabbos as he's the rest of the week, so how is it Shabbos? So the Gemara answers, "Kiddush of Avdalta." No, he still has to make kiddush and he still has to make Avdallah, right? So then the Gemara says, "Amar Rabba, im hayamakir miktzas hayom sheyatzavai." Let's say he knows what day, meaning he lost track of what day it is today, but he knows that he left on a Friday, right? He can do melacha on that day, right? Meaning, if he knows he left on a certain, well, I don't know. How what would be the scenario?
He knows he left on a Wednesday. He knows he left on a Wednesday.
No, because if he knows he left on a Wednesday, he knows when Shabbos is. He knows.
No, but if he knows on a Wednesday, then he'll count the days back.
Oh, he knows that whatever day he left, it wasn't Shabbos.
7 days.
So 7 days from that day, he could do whatever he wants. He just
So
doesn't know what day.
He had some sort of dementia or something.
His suffix is not full. It's only part. It's mostly.
Meaning he knows that one certain day for sure is not.
He knows he left on Tuesday. He had no idea that it was Tuesday.
Right.
But he knows that it wasn't Shabbos. But he doesn't know what day of the week it was. So 7 days from that day, he can certainly be Machal Shabbos.
But he doesn't know. But he doesn't know that it was a Tuesday. He just knows that he left 7 days ago. That's what you're saying. Yeah. He knows. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a shot.
And he also knows that he didn't leave on Shabbos.
And he knows, right? Exactly. That's what Gemara is going to say now. Very good. So basically, he knows he left 7 days ago, but he doesn't know what day he's on now. So he knows for sure 7 days ago. He knows he left. So that's a partial knowledge, right? That it's for sure not. He didn't leave on Shabbos, right? So Gemara says pshita. That's pashut, of course. No, so Ma'ad the same. Even the Shabbos le nafik. Since he wouldn't leave on Shabbos, but Ma'ile Shabbat and Namin nafik. He also wouldn't go on a Friday because which erlich he had traveled on a Friday. And maybe on the 5th day, maybe Thursday he left. So since he knows he didn't leave on Shabbos and probably he didn't leave on Friday, so now at least 2 days of the week he should for sure be scot-free. No, sometimes you get a boat leaving or you get a caravan leaving on a Friday. You're going to jump on it even though it's a Friday. So therefore, that's the chiddush. You can only count 1 day, not 2 days. Okay, now first thing is the bottom Taisus. We only have 2 minutes, unfortunately. We will stretch it a little bit because I think it's kedai. The bottom Taisus says that he is avalahalach yochol kol ma sheyirtze. There's no isur tchumen to travel from the desert. Meaning he's got to get himself out of this desert. This is not a healthy situation that he's in. So does he have to rest the whole Shabbos? No, because even on Shabbos he has to travel. If he doesn't keep traveling, he's never going to find any humans, right? So then, and that's what it's saying. How's he going to know? Because since he's continuing to travel, he's not going to know whether that day is Shabbos or not. So therefore, he has to make kiddush. So now it's only kiddush. Bottom line is that in a situation like this, you would still have to continue to be Machal Shabbos to try and get yourself out, let's say to light SOSs or to light fires so people would see it. Okay, it's not a common situation. Fine.
But
now here's the story.
Couldn't we just say that it was din pikuach nefesh and be like done with this whole conversation?
No,
he's in a desert. He's in a desert. He doesn't know where he is.
No, because right now it's not. It's obviously not pikuach nefesh, right? He's got food and he has a way to make parnos. Exactly how, I have no idea, but he's got epis. So it's right now he's not in the situation pikuach nefesh, but I guess potentially he could be. So you got to get out of the situation. Now the more practical application to this is there are certain places in the world that we have no idea what day is Shabbos. Hawaii is one of them. New Zealand, Japan, Philippines, right? A couple of these places we have no idea whether, because there's a whole machlokes whether it's on which side of the international date line. So that's the first thing. So we have no idea what to do with Shabbos for that. So now what do? So the poskim are all in agreement that you have to keep 2 days Shabbos. If you're going to Hawaii, that's how I know when Dan's Deals is posting Hawaii trip, because when I start getting shilas, how do I keep Shabbos in Hawaii? I know I can almost guarantee go on to Dan's Deals and know that he just posted a Hawaii trip, right? So in some of them, depending on which side of the dateline is, you have to keep Friday and Shabbos. So the Shabbos that they keep in that place they call Saturday, the psak is you have to keep it as regular Shabbos. And the other day, either Friday or Sunday, depending where in the world you are, you'd have to keep only deraisas on Friday and only deraisas or only deraisas on Sunday. Okay? Meaning because since it's a suffix, so we don't let you do deraisas, but the Rabanans you could do. Which comes out interesting because the people that end up going there, you end up getting a good education in Hilchos Shabbos as what's the deraisa and what's the Rabbanan. Because most of Hilchos Shabbos is the Rabbanan. Like they're staying in a hotel, so can they go swimming? Yes, they can. Can they turn on the LED lights? Yes. Can they text? Yes, that's the Rabbanan. Can they go on an elevator? That's the Rabbanan. Can they have a guy warm up their food? 100%. It's almost like it's not Shabbos, right? That's one thing that's negaya. The other thing that's negaya, if you go up to the North Pole, right, where it's daylight for 2 months straight or night for 2-3 months straight, right? So what do you do with Shabbos there? So the psak based on this Gemara is that whenever you get there, you keep that day as whatever day it was that you got there. Let's say you got there on a Monday. So you go 4 days till Shabbos, 5 days till Shabbos. You keep that as Shabbos, and then you keep moving, even though it never gets light, it never gets dark. That's basically the psak based on this Gemara. One last thing is if a guy is in orbit. What does a guy who's in orbit do? Right? A guy's flying around the world. It's night and day every 3 seconds. So what is he doing? Keeping Shabbos every 5 minutes? Right? Every 10 minutes, whatever it is. So the poskim say, no, that whatever day he actually goes into orbit, you just keep that cheshbon with Shabbos. Right? Those are the basic practical applications from this Gemara. And then the poskim
why don't they say that with the other two cases? Why don't they say that with the other two cases? Bisman is that we have clocks, we have all that stuff.
No, because the other two cases, that's a good question. The other two cases is just a straight out machlokes, which side of the international dateline it is. So it's just a machlokes. We know that that one day,
or Alaska. Forget the dateline one. I'll be minded that's not that's a questionable case. But something like Alaska, where you get the daylight for a couple months at a time. Why don't we paskin like that, where you kind of just understand according to the clock, today is Friday afternoon, and you kind of just work it that way.
I don't know which part of Alaska. What's the story?
You keep a cheshbon. Isn't that what you're saying?
What do you say?
That's what you do. That's what you're saying. You keep a cheshbon of the time of the days that go by. You don't have to
right.
Go by
okay. And a chanami. So that's what you have to do, depending on that's what you'd have to do. That's what we're saying the halachas. But the poskim do say, do not put yourself into these situations. It's like dropping yourself in a midbar and not knowing what day it is. Clearly, that's not the optimum situation that you should put yourself into. Either way, that's the practical halacha for tonight. Okay, have a good night tomorrow, 6:30, parrots. That's what we're doing, 6:30?
Yep, that's what we were doing.
Right. Fine.
Yeah.
Have yourself a good night.
Is your shiur at 11 recorded also?
Thank you.
Hey, you want? I could record it if you want, but it's going
And
to be a
also,
lot of
we should
give
say
and take.
hello to Micha later.
No, I didn't. Dave asked
Micha later.
me.
Yeah, he's in there.
He joined tonight.
All right, welcome.
Nick, say something.
I'm
sorry.
I'll be on. Dave asked me if you record it.
I'm doing it while I'm putting my.
I'll record it, but it's going to be a lot of give and take, so it's not going to have much of a. I don't think it's going to be much to listen to, but isn't it?
I'll tell him. It may be past his bedtime. He's nervous.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. All right, folks.